Of course, Rioja's unique climate is only one factor in grape quality. Soils matter too, and Rioja's best winemakers are gaining a sophisticated understanding of the region's exceedingly complex geology. From the rocky alluvial soils near the river to the limestone bedrock in the hills, Rioja offers a wide spectrum of soil types.
Another very important point, besides the weather, is that our geology is very, very complex. This is one of the most complex places in the world. Talking about the mix of different areas of geology. Okay? So understanding the soils, understanding the weather, and understanding, as you can see, orography, which changes very fast, makes our job very interesting and very difficult.
There are several reasons why Rioja is so unique or so special. One that leaps to mind for me is the terruño, or that's what the Spanish term is for terroir. Terroir is a very difficult concept, but my definition of it is it's the world of the vine in microcosm. It's orientation, it's climate pattern, it's the nature of the soil, the texture of the soil geology, what are the rock substrata that the vines penetrate to get sustenance, how much sunlight, drainage. You put all of that together and that is terroir. It is everything that affects the vine. The terroir in Rioja is difficult and various. The winemakers say it's heterogeneous as opposed to homogeneous. Even within one subzone, La Rioja Alta, you've got ferric iron soils, you've got some limestone soils, you've got, it can vary widely in a very short amount of space.
Bueno, ¿por qué tiene Rioja tantos suelos? ¿Por qué tiene Borgoña tantos suelos? Son zonas donde ha habido una geología activa, donde hubo montañas, plegamientos, fallas, y después, durante milenios, ha habido un río, en Borgoña es el Saona, aquí es el Ebro, está apenas a 1 kilómetro de aquí, que ha ido modelando el paisaje. Y en función de las etapas geológicas, lo ha modelado de una forma o de otra, dejando en unos sitios unos sedimentos y retirando en otros sitios otros. Eso crea, Rioja se extiende a lo largo del Ebro durante 150 kilómetros, y en esos 150 kilómetros hay grandísimas diferencias.
Este suelo no es de la procedencia del efecto de los ríos, sino del efecto de la montaña. Es una evolución de ese suelo de la montaña que poco a poco, con su erosión lenta, ha ido generando este tipo de mesetas, este tipo de suelos. Este es un suelo muy fresco, hecho a base de material de la montaña, como podéis ver, con cal, con una proporción caliza importante, aquí lo podéis ver, de carbonato cálcico. Es un suelo que en su parte baja aparece una franja blanca. Es una franja blanca que que está bien meteorizada, en la que atraviesan las raíces, ¿no? Da un buen nivel de carbonatos cálcicos, que también siempre está vinculado a los vinos de alta calidad, ¿no? Los suelos de los grandes vinos suelen ser cálcicos siempre.
Clay in some vintages is wonderful because the clay keeps the humidity, gives to the wine a very, very interesting minerality. Okay, and also the clay changes the temperature of the soil very slowly, which is good for the long for the slowly ripening. Okay. But the problem of clay is that when you have rainfalls in this time of the year or in October, forget about the harvest, because the clay keeps the humidity too much. So the farming grapes in that part of the valley is very risky. Not many wineries and not many farmers, grape growers, will farm Tempranillo in that area.
Because Rioja's rivers originate in its limestone-rich mountains, soils on Rioja's valley floors are a rich tapestry of gravelly terraces, sandy marls, and chalky limestone. On the hillsides, the soils can change dramatically with modest changes in elevation, shifting from calcareous clays to soils rich in iron. These diverse soils produce subtle differences in the wines. a boon to the winemaker at blending time.
The consistency and the quality that you get in the value wines of Rioja are a direct result of the tradition of the winemaking practices, which was and is Rioja as a blend of different vineyards, different parcels. Traditionally, winemakers, especially the big bodegas, would source grapes from each of the three subzones, Rioja Alta, Rioja Alavesa, and Rioja Baja. Any given vintage, the grapes in one subregion will perform better than the grapes in the others. So inevitably they will use a higher percentage of those, the best quality fruit, to make the wines, which is, even though each vintage can vary widely in the weather patterns and ultimately the quality of the fruit, it's almost like the bodegas and the winemakers are an artist. They've got a palette, many colors. They can paint a more beautiful picture if they've got 50 colors than 4.